Good morning, everybody. I feel like I haven't gotten to show you guys my new little sweatsuit from Odd Cow. I have been literally living in it for the past 3 days. Haven't taken it off, haven't washed it, considering washing it today. But I just wanted to get ready, have a little chit chat with you gals about mental health, motivation, all those crazy things. It's tallow time. I've been loving that trend that everybody's doing lately where they talk about, how social media makes everything just like look a lot nicer than it really is, because I feel like my life is really good and I'm really happy. But I'm at this phase in my life right now where I'm not happy, and I feel like that's okay. And for me, this is like just pertaining to me. Obviously, I travel and I make a lot of travel content, and I travel like 6 months out of the year, and I'm very lucky and very blessed, and I can acknowledge that. So I feel like when I'm having bad mental health days or bad motivation days, I beat myself up really, really bad about it, because I'm like, oh my God, like I should be so excited. I'm on vacation. Like I'm in Florida. The sun is shining at 75 degrees in February. Like I should be so happy, but I'm not. And I want to like lay on the couch and rot for 3 days, which is what I've been doing in this exact outfit. And maybe it's just my For You page, but a lot of creators that I love and adore have an issue where they are overproductive. Like they always need to be doing something. They don't know how to rest, don't know how to take a break. They like are addicted to working. I feel like I'm the opposite. My mental health is bad. I literally get magnets. That's what I call it. Magnets to my couch, magnets to the bed. I will literally just scroll on my phone for 72 hours. Like I get really self-conscious because I'll see people who are like, oh my God, like my TikTok time on my phone is 5 hours. I'm like, 5 hours? Like that's me on a good mental health day. On a bad mental health day, I am literally just on my phone nonstop. Like I do not come up from air. Like people will be like talking to me and I can't stop scrolling. And I know that's really bad for my mental health, and I'm not addicted to my phone. It's literally a coping mechanism for when my mental health is doing poorly. And for me, what I'm working through in therapy is what triggers me, because something that triggers me very minimally will literally, I'm shaking, will send me into a spiral for days. And it's the guilt carousel, I call it. I feel bad, so I can't get off the couch, and I can't get off the couch because I feel bad. And all it takes is like one little thing to like send me into this spiral that I am incapable of getting out of. I don't really play into the whole like social media is toxic thing, even though I know that it is. I think that for me personally, it's not. I don't really compare myself to other people so much, but I have a really hard time in my head where I compare myself to my past self. And that often looks a lot like, for me, I will be like, oh my God, I was so much happier 2 years ago when I was just like living out of my sedan, and now I've like upgraded and have this van and I'm doing content creation full time, and I'm so unhappy. Like, why am I unhappy? And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm not grateful. And then I start the guilt carousel of I'm not grateful, and I'm stuck on the couch for 3 days. My therapist actually gave me this book about shame recently, and it talks about how shame is actually the most detrimental thing to our mental health. And I realized that that's actually what I have been doing to myself all these years. It's creating shame around the fact that my mental health isn't good, even though I feel like I have a very beautiful life and shouldn't be feeling like this. And I'm trying really hard to just unlearn all of that, because it is an expectation that I am placing on myself, and then I'm not meeting the expectations, and then I am letting it literally send me into a spiral. Having lazy days was not ever something that really bothered me. Growing up, I never had like the pressure to always be working and always be doing something like that. And I think that I do enjoy my downtime days, but I think that where things went wrong was I actually for a long time dated a guy that was one of those types of people that couldn't sit still, and actually made me feel bad when I would sit still. And I was actually very depressed at the time. And so I think that that narrative of being lazy and not doing anything stemmed from that time in my life, and that is some healing that I am still working on to this day. But it has been a long journey, and now instead of somebody else putting that idea in my head, it's an idea that I have engraved in my head, and I just like can't unlearn it. I also used to have a really big issue with showering, and I know maybe I'm gonna get judged really like heavy for this. So when I was in the biggest part of my depression right before I got sober, I actually had a phobia of washing my hair, and now I only wash my hair once a week. I don't like washing my hair, and I think that's where it stemmed from. But when I was in my biggest depressive episode, I literally had matting on the back of my head so severe that I think I didn't brush my hair for maybe 2 months. And I was living across the country at the time, and I went home to visit my family. And when I went home, my mom, my grandmother, and my sister all sat around me and helped me brush out the mats in my hair. And that was obviously a really hard and sad time in my life. And I'm in a place in my healing journey where I can look back and not be like, bitch, just like brush and wash your hair. It's not hard. I look back and I feel really bad for myself during that time and understand she was like going through so much trauma and so much turmoil, and we were able to overcome that. Like, obviously I brush and wash my hair all the time now, and it's not gonna be that bad ever again, I hope. And I will still procrastinate like a shower. Again, I know like some people are gonna think like, oh my God, I'm disgusting. It's definitely a mental health thing. And I know tons of other people that have experienced it. So I know I'm not the only one. And I feel like I never hear anybody talking about the fact that they literally cannot shower when they're having like a mental health crisis or even just like a couple bad days in a row. And you're not alone, and you're not disgusting, and it's normal and it's okay. And something that I do remember every single time is that I always do feel way better after I do shower. I feel like I'm like washing all of the negative energy off of my body and out of my hair, and that just getting in the shower is the most difficult part. But once I'm in there, you know, you just go ahead and do your little routine and you really do feel better afterwards. So here's your little reminder to shower, eat something, drink some water. I love you very much. You're not the only one that's going through like sad days, bad days, mental health problems. And just because everybody else looks really happy and smiley on the internet doesn't mean that that is always the case. And I love you guys. I'm here for you. Always here to lend an ear if you need any help or support. I love you so much.